Welcome everyone to Podcast 69 South, where we cuss and discuss true crime, cold cases, current events, and hot topics, along with our state of society today. This is your trigger warning. Our podcast content is produced for adult listeners 18 years of age and older. We discuss situations that may be offensive and triggering to some listeners. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome back, everybody, to 69 South, the Daily Detour. I'm glad you're here to get your dose of the Daily Detour today. I'm Chop, your host, and with me is my beautiful co-host, Julie. How are you doing today?
Amazing.
Good. Me
3-day
too.
weekend.
Absolutely. It's Thanksgiving Eve. I hope you guys got big plans and big fat turkey plans for Thanksgiving. And
Get to go hang out with all your family that you don't get to see very often.
And shout out and props to those who is hosting the family events, because we all know that sucks. You got to family proof and kid proof and
get everything spotless, because you know everybody's going to be talking shit about what your house looks like.
At least when you go to somebody's house, you know what I mean? If somebody pisses you off, you can get up and get the fuck out of there like it's ASAP, you know?
Yeah.
With a smile on your face because you don't get too pissed.
We always had a family member at Thanksgivings who would, they would hide shit in the other room because she would try to take all the leftovers and everything else so she wouldn't have to buy groceries for about
Oh, man, I know who you're talking about. And she ain't on Patreon, so she can't even hear this, but you know who you are. For sure. Be robbing the fucking leftovers, like not even asking.
Oh, yeah, she'd come with a cart from the Dollar General. Huh?
Yep, go home and be eating that shit till Christmas, till the next get-together, where she can fucking gaffle some ham.
Yeah, I swear to God, I about died when my aunt was like, we got to hide the leftovers because you're so-and-so's going to try to steal them all.
I was like, really? And then I observed, and I was like, wow, that shit's true AF. Speaking of food shit, my first one today is kind of funny. You know how since TikTok and the internet and social media and shit's all popped up, you got these food influencers that run around, and, you know, some of them are cooking and some of them are trying food out at restaurants and all that type of bullshit. Well, we got one, and ironically, her name is, she's Chinese, and her name is pronounced Pei Pei. Well, Pei Pei didn't like to pay. She would go into restaurants, extravagant restaurants, like we're talking about $150 steaks.
Like the bourbon in Nashville?
Like the bourbon, $52 lamb chops. And Pepe Chung, a 34-year-old self-proclaimed food influencer from Williamsburg, Brooklyn, has become the unlikely anti-hero or villain of New York City's dining scene in recent weeks. She was dubbed the Dine-and-Dash Diva by local media. She's accused of exploiting her curated Instagram persona, complete with Prada heels, Louis Vuitton bags, and Hermes belts. You probably have to correct me on that. Hermes belts? Hermes belts. To feast at upscale spots without ever settling the bill. What started as whispers among the restaurant staff has escalated into a string of arrest and eviction battle and a viral saga that's equal parts audacious scam and cautionary tale about social media fakery. Now, here's the breakdown. Her scheme is simple as it is brazen. She rolls into trendy eateries. She orders lavishly, you know, real expensive type shit.
Michelin food.
She snaps glossy photos for her 13,000 Instagram followers at LUPPY Chung and posts effusive reviews like the fat melts like silk for places she allegedly stiffed. When the check arrives, she reportedly offers wild alternatives, trading items from her designer bag like kitchen shears, promising exposure via social media shout-outs, or, in one shocking allegation, hinting at sexual favors. Yeah, if that fails, she bolts. One time she hid in a bathroom for 45 minutes until the popo showed up.
Boy, she's wanting to dine and dash.
You got to admit, though, that's a pretty slick shit. You know what I mean? You can go in there and be like, hey, I'm this influencer and I can give you this fucking awesome review. Let me eat this $150 ribeye.
I'll tell you what, those restaurants, they kind of get you sometimes because when we went, it's called the Bourbon in Nashville, and it's really nice. And we went there, and I ordered this Wagyu steak, and beside it, it said like $160 some, and I was like, oh my god, like what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, when the bill came, it was
No, it was like 500. Remember, because it was
but the price you said was per ounce. Of
yeah,
the steak.
it was per ounce, not for the whole entire thing. Our bill was like, I don't know, $500-$600. I mean, it was a fun experience.
I'd do it.
But damn, it was expensive.
That was the best ribeye I think I ever ate.
But yeah, we paid for our shit. I'm not gonna dine and dash.
Hell no. I'm not even gonna like steal from a store or any retarded shit like that. Now, none of this was really petty nickel and diming shit. Her tabs ranged from $83 to $149 to even higher incident. She's been banned from at least 7 spots, with staff now sharing her photo on group chats to spotting her coming. So they see this bitch coming. They're like, don't even let her in there. On October 27th, she got Peter Luger Steakhouse for a $146 tab for steaks and sides. Early November, she hit the Francie Michelin-starred Brasserie, hit it twice. First time for $15 in foie gras, $32 in carpaccio. Shit, I'm not even familiar with some of this shit. $28 in bucatini, $52 in lamb, $19 moose. She was tearing them up. Video footage from one arrest shows her being led away in a squad car, still in chic attire, as stunned diners gawk. She's represented by a public defender, and she's due back in court December 2025. And her troubles aren't just from that shit. She's getting evicted from her home, too. So she was running around having a fucking ball with
pretending she was like some big influencer, because I don't see a restaurant giving away free food or wanting recognition from somebody who, you know, has got 13,000 followers. That's like
right.
minimal.
I bet Gordon Ramsay go in there and get a free steak, though.
Oh, you know he would.
Fuck yeah. What you got today?
So yesterday in Thailand, a 65-year-old woman woke up in a coffin at a Buddhist temple 2 days after she appeared to stop breathing. Her family traveled hundreds of miles with her body in the coffin and were preparing to have her body cremated. Now, moments before the service began, the temple manager said he heard a faint knocking coming from inside of the coffin. So he told his employees to open the coffin, and to everyone's surprise, she was alive. The crazy thing is they were getting ready to live stream this cremation.
Oh, I wish they'd have hurried up and live streamed it. Could you imagine everybody talking around, reminiscing, crying and shit, and all of a sudden, I bet the room went fucking silent.
Yeah. Okay. So this lady had been bedridden for 2 years with bad health, and she became unresponsive. And it appeared that she stopped breathing. So her brother throws her in a coffin and drove her 300 miles to Bangkok because local officials had told him that she was dead. And she was actually an organ donor, but the hospital that he originally took her to wouldn't accept her because he didn't have the right paperwork. So that's why he took her to the Buddhist temple. That's crazy.
Do they not know how to check a pulse over there? Or
I mean, who just has a coffin laying around they can throw you in when they think you're dead? Is that a thing over there?
I don't know. Shit, Aunt June ain't breathing. Throw her in the box, bro. She's done.
Yeah, she didn't wake up for the 300-mile road trip, but the moment she heard that cremation oven kick on. She was
Holy
like, hey, I'm
shit.
good. I'm waking up.
Get me the fuck out of here.
I bet the next family dinner is going to be awkward. Brother, like, pass the rice,
Word.
sis.
I'm breathing. I'm breathing. I'm breathing.
I bet that would traumatize me if I woke up in a coffin. I would be pissed.
Oh my God, I would too. Be like, you motherfuckers check my pulse?
We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? It's Chop from 69 South. And if you can't get enough of our content and Chop and Julie's bullshit, go to Patreon at
www.patreon.com/69south
and get your daily dose of the Daily Detour. We go through today's crazy news stories and put a little comedy spin on it for a lighter note. It comes out every day, so get your daily dose of the Detour. Let us take the blues out of your day and put a little sunshine in your life.
Or at least plug me into a machine or something to see if we still got some
Anything.
lines or...
I bet you touch that lady now, she screams, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up.
I guarantee it.
That's a pretty wild story. So here's a criminal from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I can kind of understand this dude because he hates shitty fucking drivers. So what this dude, Ronald Hayes, 41-year-old former security guard from Bowling Green, Kentucky, turned a professional grudge against quote-unquote bad drivers into a 2-week reign of terror on Interstate 65. He was impersonating a police officer with a homemade flare. His November 2025 escapade, complete with flashing lights, a surplus uniform, a fake badge, has locals on edge. Sparkling statewide alerts about ghost cops and copycat risks. What started as a misguided quest for road justice ended in a dramatic arrest, but not before terrifying at least 5 drivers, including families with children. Drawing from police reports and local coverage as of November 25th, 2025, the full story about Hayes is he was a Bowling Green native and divorced father too. He kind of worked odd jobs in security before he got fired from the mall gig in 2025 over attitude issues per former colleagues. So he was, remember the movie, The Mall Cop?
Yeah.
That was funny. So this dude couldn't even be a security guard at the mall. He was probably the one yelling at all the teenage kids, quiet down, just a big fat sloppy mall cop type dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm just picturing him in my head. Neighbors describe him as a hothead with a hero complex, the type who'd ran about traffic on Nextdoor while blasting true crime podcast. Oh, man. No criminal record prior to this, but court filings reveal a history of road rage complaints. 3 tickets for aggressive driving since 2023. You notice how it's always the aggressive fucking drivers who are pissed off about the way everybody else is driving. You got Granny out there doing 1 mile above or below the actual speed limit, probably because her fucking shit's not perfectly, But that's the type of motherfuckers that's always bitching about that shit.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Just when you explain that, I feel like if I were to see a picture of this dude, he'd be like real little, like small man syndrome.
Oh, yeah. Either a little bitty dude or a big ass fat sloppy dude. He always said that the highway was full of idiots who needed a boot. One anonymous neighbor told WBKO TV that he lived in a modest ranch-style home on the outskirts of town surrounded by half-assembled patrol car parts scavenged from eBay. His motive, just pure vigilantism. In a rambling post-arrest confession, Hayes claimed I-65 chaos, speeders, weavers, tailgaters was worse than Baghdad, and real cops were too busy with donuts. He saw himself as the solution. So over 2 weeks, roughly from Halloween to November 12th this year, Hayes prowled southbound I-65 in his modified 2012 Ford F-150 pickup truck outfitted like a discount cop car. This dude was ordering cop cars and shit off eBay, junk cars, probably going to the junkyard and finagled him a F-150 cop car.
So he was a wannabe cop.
Yeah, he was a security guard who couldn't keep a job and just run around bitching about everybody else's bullshit. He had magnetic dash lights, blue and red LED strobes, bought online for $29, strong enough to mimic state trooper gear from 100 yards. But this was Bowling Green, Kentucky, so I wonder why he had blue and red, because
Isn't Kentucky just blue?
they just have the blues, the blueberries, not the cherries. He had a uniform, was a surplus army jacket altered with iron-on police patches, cargo pants, and a toy badge from a costume shop. He topped it with a reflective vest and mirrored aviators. He had the aviators, too, this fucking dude, for that authority glare. He had a bullhorn for barking orders like, pull over, slow poke, and a notepad for fake citations. He never issued one, just scribed threats on his notepad and gave it to the people. It said, quote, next time, $500 fine.
So he got in trouble definitely for impersonating a police officer.
Oh, yeah. His victim one was a 28-year-old nurse in a minivan with her toddler. He pulled her over and lectured her for 10 minutes on endangering kids with slow speeds.
With slow speeds?
With slow speeds. You're going too slow. You need to speed up. Then he drove off, and she called 911. Obviously, she saw through his fucking toy badge. Delivery drivers and a colleague commuter all intimidated into stopping. One handed over $20 as a tip for his patience. November 11th, he had a victim, and this was the breaking point. A mom with two kids en route to a soccer game. She panicked and called dispatch mid-stop, screaming, "He's got a gun, help!" And it was a toy holster. Real troopers arrived in minutes. While he was on this rampage, it seemed that Hayes would strike about once every other day, but he always fled before, the real cops got there. There was 5 confirmed, but troopers suspect more unreported cases, given the highway is 80,000, people that run through I-65 per day. November 12th started like any others. Hayes lit it up behind a semi near mile marker 18, but the driver, a sharp-eyed trucker named Dale Harlan, radioed colleagues instead of panicking. Harlan slowed gradually, baiting Hayes into a prolonged pursuit that looped towards Bowling Green police jurisdiction. This trucker saw him coming a mile away. Spotting the ruse, no plates on the light bar, uniform patches were peeling off. Officers from the Bowling Green PD and Kentucky State Police Post 3, they set a trap for this dude on exit 22. They got body cam footage of it from the arrest, and it's gold. Hayes, lights blazing, pulls up next to the stopped semi, only to find 6 real cruisers boxing him in. He bolts from the truck, hands up, chuckling, "Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good. I was just helping out there. These roads are a jungle." A search turned up his eBay receipts and a notepad of targeted vehicles. So he was looking for people, and a manifesto titled Highway Heroes, Why We Need More Like Me. He is in jail on felony impersonation of a public servant. He can get up to 5 years for that shit. Terroristic threatening, 1 to 3 years for instilling fear of imminent harm, and menacing for the kid involved. Stop. Bail was set at $25,000, and he posted it via family on November 14th. He's out with an ankle monitor, banned from I-65.
So he can't even drive on it if he had to go somewhere.
He's got to cut the back roads now.
Wow. He sounds like something's not screwed in right up there.
I guess.
So I have a story about a reserve Denver police officer. He won $80,000 from suing another local police jurisdiction for being illegally detained by another officer when the victim here, the reserve officer, he pulled over along the side of the road because he seen that cop had somebody pulled over.
Right.
And he pulled over probably 20, 30 feet in front of him and started to record him. Well, after that guy got done with his traffic stop, he walked up to the reserve cop's window and was like, can I help you? And he was like, yeah, I need to know your name and badge number. And he was like, okay, what for? He said, well, I'm going to make a complaint against you because up the road a little further somewhere, this cop had passed him, no lights or sirens or anything like that, doing like 85, and then he recorded him and paced with him, to see how fast he was going. And then he said that cop sped off. Well, he just so happened to see him pulled over along the side of the road, so he stopped to record him because he was going to turn him in. You're sitting there giving tickets to these other people for speeding when that's exactly what you were doing. So whenever he told the cop that he was going to make a complaint about it, he was like, give me your license and registration. And he said, I'm not giving you shit. I don't have to. He was a cop, so he knew the rules and what was going on. And he was like, no, you need to get out of your car. You're being detained. Put him in the back of his cop car. Tried to arrest him for obstruction. Well, he got his supervisor out there, and his supervisor was like, did he get out of the car and walk back to you while you were doing your traffic stop? And he was like, no. And he was like, then you can't get him for obstruction. Why did you try to arrest him? And he tried to arrest him like for retaliation because he was going to turn him in for speeding in his vehicle and just being a shit cop, I guess.
Well, good for that dude, man.
Well, anyway, so they detained him, and the supervisor let him out, made the other cop apologize. And when he was walking away, he said, I'll see you in court. Well, he seen him in court, and he won $80,000 for them illegally detaining him on the side.
Good for him. And he got paid too. I got to say, man, there's a fine line. Today, you see, all the civil rights stuff, which I enjoy fucking watching it too, but sometimes it goes a little bit too far. I mean, you got to give cops a little bit of respect, but I got to say, it pisses me off when I see a cop flying down the fucking road at 20 or 30 miles over the speed limit. Then they want to pull you over for going 7 the speed limit, or flipping their blueberries and cherries on it, running through a red light, then turning them off right when they get through it.
Oh, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, that shit, I don't know. It's kind of a...
Because you never know what's going on,
or
if they're trying to get to an emergency situation. You just don't know. But it's dangerous either way.
I think if you're gonna uphold the law, you should at least abide by it. I mean, shit. That's hypocritical. Right. Hypocritical as fuck.
But everybody's human, and we all make mistakes, and nobody's perfect. So
they just don't get tickets for it. But this dude was trying, wasn't he?
Yeah, I bet he got reprimanded real big. I bet his supervisor was like so embarrassed. Like, you got me out here and another cop's here. You don't know what the hell you're doing.
And on camera.
Yup.
Hell yeah.
What's your next story you got over there?
Okay, so this one's kind of funky, man. I started reading. I just couldn't help. You know how you listen to something and you get a picture in your head, right? Well, this is a story about a dude who something got him off, like going and licking people's their ring cameras, their doorbell cameras. Robert Daniel, 33 years old at the time, got caught, busted, and he was licking somebody's ring camera, and he licked it for 3 hours straight.
Where were these people at? Were they on vacation or something?
This happened in Salinas, California. And like I said, he licked the doorbell camera for 3 hours straight while the family slept. They were in bed. 10:30 p.m., he shows up, starts casually ringing the doorbell and talking to himself. Then he removes a hardwired extension cord from the yard and walks off with it. That was at 1 a.m., so between that was the 3 hours he was French kissing the ring camera. Then he returned at 1:30 a.m., shirtless in the rain, and begins the licking session all over again, tongue on the lens over and over and over. Then at 4:30 a.m., he finally leaves after the final lick farewell. The ring camera captured everything in 1080p glory, including close-ups that still haunt the internet. Sylvia and Dave Dutra were in Hawaii on vacation. Their kids were asleep inside. Sylvia got the motion alerts on her phone and thought it was a glitch until she saw the footage. Salinas PD recognized Arroyo from previous contacts. He had a rap sheet for petty theft and vandalism. They picked him up 2 days later on misdemeanor charges, petty theft because of the extension cord he stole, prowling, and vandalism for the licking of the camera and tampering with their shit. It blew up on the internet because Ring shared the video with permission, and it got 2+ million views in just days. It became a 2019 meme template, quote, when you order a creep off of Wish. I can imagine.
I'm just stunned. There's got to be some serious mental health issues there if you're running and licking people's door cameras. That's like licking the underneath of a toilet seat. You don't know how many people touch that shit.
Oh, man. I don't think they knew him. I think it was a complete stranger.
I would have been calling the police immediately.
Hell yeah.
Standing outside my door, licking my Ring camera.
Yeah, at first you might not even know what the fuck it was because it's just a tongue lapping on your fucking camera lens. I don't know about these people, babe.
This world's getting so nasty and crazy.
And it's just the tip of the iceberg.
So my next story is about this lady, and her name is Brittany Stapleton. And she's kind of a big insurance agent down in Florida. And she married this guy named Joshua Stapleton, and they're like considered micro influencers or some shit like that. And
what's that mean? Like low level? Like tiny?
Maybe in the hundreds of thousands of followers or something like that. 50 to over 100,000, something like that. Well, anyway, they go by the Gulf Coast Stapletons. A few months back, he got not arrested, but he pled guilty to 20 counts of child exploitation.
Yuck.
And nobody really knew anything about it until after he pled guilty, and the news picked it up. Well, she's online defending him. Now, he had hundreds and hundreds of images of prepubescent teens. And so people have been voyeuing the jail calls and hearing what she's saying. But she's going after all these true crime influencers because they're telling the story of what her husband did. And the thing is, he was charged with this before they got met. And when they got together, he was like, yeah, I got charged with all these counts of child exploitation. And she was caught on a jail phone call, and this is a quote that says, I don't give a shit if you're a sex offender for the next 75 years. I just want you out. Now, these images that he had were
out of jail?
Yes, because
shit.
He got 5 years in prison and then 15 on probation. But these images that he had of these small children were bound to playground equipment. That's the type of images that these were. And she knows all this. So she's mad now that she's received bad backlash, and she's going around and collecting all these true crime people's shit. And she was like, you better make sure your closet's clean and all that shit. But what type of woman would marry a man who's sitting on all these charges, who's admitted to doing all these things or having this type of shit on his phone? Little kids bound to playground equipment naked? Like, come on.
I mean, if that's the type of shit your dude likes and you like him, and that shit don't bother you, then you're pretty fucked up.
That's like a pedophile by proxy, isn't it?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like she married him post-indictment, and she said yes to 40 counts, More like 40 reasons to swipe right to felony foreplay.
I don't care if you want to see little kids that haven't even reached puberty yet tied to the fucking slide for 75 years, baby. I love
That's
you
so
just the way
gross.
you are. Wow.
It's disgusting.
She's fucked
like, what
up.
would you see in a? I can't even imagine what's going through these women. That seems very desperate to me.
She's just as fucked up as he is. If dude's fucked up because little kids turn him on, and she's fucked up because the dude that likes little kids turns her on. So
Yeah, with her telling all these true crime creators, clean your own closet, while your hubby was hoarding the dirtiest laundry imaginable.
fuck them.
It's like, bitch, your closet isn't messy. It's a federal evidence locker.
Absolutely.
But those are our crazy takes on what's going on today in the world.
I hope y'all love your daily dose of the Daily Detour. We appreciate you. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Until then, have a good day, good evening, whatever.